The Dragon's armada was a quantifiable steel reality, with the stunning high-speed serial production of the Type 052D destroyer. The People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, had built a world-class fleet of workhorses. They had solved the crisis of quantity, creating the massive shield needed to protect their carriers and project power.
But in the
relentless, high-stakes arms race of the 21st century, today's solution is often tomorrow's problem. A new and far more subtle crisis was emerging on the horizon: the problem of evolution. The Type 052D, for all its success, was a design conceived in the early 2000s. The world of naval warfare was already changing at a blinding pace. Two new game-changing threats were emerging that threatened to render the Dragon's new shield obsolete before it was even complete. The first was the dawn of naval stealth aviation, the widespread deployment of fifth-generation carrier-based fighters like the American F-35, aircraft designed to be almost invisible to conventional radar. The second was the increasing importance of the naval helicopter, not just as a utility aircraft, but as a long-range, submarine hunting predator in its own right. This was a looming technological nightmare. The Type 052D's powerful Dragon Eye radar was a world-class system, but it was not optimized to detect the faint, fleeting signatures of stealth aircraft. In a future conflict, the plan's brand new destroyers could be blind to the most advanced threats, their defensive screen bypassed by invisible assassins. At the same time, the original 052D's flight deck was too short to safely and efficiently operate the plan's new, larger and more capable Z-20 naval helicopter, the Chinese equivalent of the American Seahawk. This severely limited their anti-submarine warfare reach, forcing them to rely on the smaller, less capable Z-9. The workhorse of the fleet was in danger of becoming a one-trick pony, a powerful ship that was unprepared for the next generation of warfare. This was a critical vulnerability. The plan had spent a decade and billions of dollars building its new armada. But that armada was at risk of being technologically outflanked before it was even fully built. To remain a credible, top-tier naval power, they couldn't just keep building the same ship. They had to prove they could adapt. They had to evolve. The solution was not to abandon a successful design, but to make it better. It was a testament to a new, confident, and forward-thinking naval philosophy. It was the birth of the Type 052DL, with the L signifying long. This was not just a minor refit. It was a comprehensive upgrade designed to future-proof the backbone of the Chinese fleet. The ship that would become a quiet symbol of this new, evolutionary phase was one of the first of this new variant, a vessel assigned to the critical Eastern Theater Command, the CNS Zibo, hull number 156. The Zibo was a statement of a navy that was no longer just catching up, but was now looking ahead. She was the first major public demonstration of the Type 052DL's key upgrades. First, the physical evolution. Her hull was stretched by several meters. This was a single, simple change with a profound impact. It created the space for a much larger flight deck and hangar, purpose-built to accommodate the new, heavier, and more capable Z-20 anti-submarine warfare helicopter. Second, the sensory evolution. The Zibo was equipped with a new, much larger, meter-wave long-range radar mounted on the aft mast. This new anti-stealth radar was designed specifically to counter low observable aircraft like the F-35, acting as an early warning system to cue the ship's more advanced fire control radars. The CNS Zibo was the answer. She carried the same powerful 64-cell VLS and the same Dragon Eye radar as her predecessors. But she was now a longer, more capable, and more far-sighted predator. She was not just a workhorse. She was the workhorse evolved. The proof of this successful evolution is now a standard feature across the fleet. The CNS Zibo, commissioned in early 2020, and the dozens of her stretch tool sisters that have followed, have now become the new backbone of the People's Liberation Army Navy. Her deployments have been the undeniable proof of her enhanced capabilities. We have seen her, the proof in her presence, on long-range patrols deep into the Pacific. We see the real-world validation of the design in the now routine operations of the new Z-20 helicopter from her flight deck. This has dramatically extended the anti-submarine warfare screen of the entire fleet. giving them a more credible defense against the quietest Western submarines. The most profound proof is that the Type 052DL, the variant introduced with ships like the Zibo, has now become the sole production standard. The original shorter-hulled version is no longer being built. This is the ultimate validation. It proves that the planned shipbuilding industry is not a rigid, Soviet-style behemoth, but an agile learning organization, capable of rapidly integrating new technologies and new lessons into its mass production lines. The Dragon is not just building a large fleet. It is building a smart and constantly improving one. The legacy of the CNS Zibo is that she is the ship that represents the maturation and future-proofing of the Chinese Navy. She is the embodiment of the moment, the planned transition from a Navy focused on simply building ships to a Navy focused on building the right ships for the future fight, while the Kunming was the revolutionary blueprint. The Zibo and her long-hull sisters are the perfected second edition of that blueprint. They are the ships that have ensured the Type 052D class will remain a potent and credible threat for decades to come. They are the quiet professionals, the evolved workhorses that have given the Dragon's armada sharper eyes and a longer spear. The CNS Zibo is more than a destroyer. She is a symbol of a Navy that is not just building for today, but is preparing for tomorrow. She is a testament to a nation's ability to not only achieve technological parity, but to relentlessly improve upon it. In the high-stakes, high-tech world of 21st century naval power, the ability to evolve is the ultimate key to survival. Share this video to explore the fascinating and strategically vital story of the CNS Zibo, the ship that is future-proofing.